Okay, hey everyone, and welcome to a very special Class 66 Rocks locomotive review. Now, this particular locomotive is by Hornby, but it has been out for quite some years now. I think it's about 1999, 2000, something like that. And obviously, I've been after it for absolutely ages, because when it came out, I really wanted it, and at the time I could just never ever get hold of it from anywhere. So I've looked on eBay, and luckily this particular model was for sale, and I got it for something like £50, I think it was. So without further ado, let's have a look at what we've got today then. So as we can see today, it is a Hornby locomotive and it is in Eddie Stobart livery. But what makes it special is it's a Class 37, and this is the one that came with the set, but this loco has been obviously taken out from the set and sold separately. But the main set that used to be out years ago contained the track, the Stobart containers that come with it, a controller, the train itself. So I'm really pleased to have got this model. So as we can see, it's by Hornby Railways, and as you can tell by the box, it is a really old design, so it's been out some years. As we can see there, it says 00 gauge scale models. As we can see here, it's a Coco diesel electric locomotive, Class 37. So if we turn the box around to this side now, we can see it is product number R2128. Coco diesel electric Class 37 locomotive in Eddie Stobart Limited livery, and it's number 948 of 1000 which were ever made. So if we just turn the box round to the back now, we can see we have a bit of information about Eddie Stobart Limited. This is mainly like on most of the Stobart boxes you get these days, you always have a bit of information about Eddie Stobart. So I'll just bring that a bit closer so you can just read that for a second. Okay, so let's get this box open and take a look at it then. So we'll just take the sleeve off first. So as we can see now, it's presented in the Hornby Railways box, and as you can tell, it is a really old box. It's not like the packaging you see these days. So I think it is from 1999, so I've heard. I think it is mentioned somewhere on the packaging, I think. So I'll just have a look now. Yes, there's a bit of information just here. It says in 1997, Eddie Stobart Limited began to explore the possibilities of combining the successful road transport operations with rail freight. In recognition of these developments, we are proud to present the Class 37 loco in the colours of Eddie Stobart Limited. But I think it is from 1999 actually when this particular one came out. So what we'll do now, we'll just slowly take it out of the box. I'll put that down there a minute. Okay, so the first thing that we have here are some etched nameplates, as you can tell. The camera's picking that up. It's say Eddie Stobart Limited on. These go on the side of the diesel. Next we have the locomotive operation and maintenance instructions, and this particular Class 37 has a Ringfield motor, so I think this is going to be a hard wiring job because DCC definitely wasn't around when this came out. So what we'll do now, we'll just have a look at what's in these instructions. So obviously it tells you a bit about the gears, how to access them, as you can see. If it is hard wiring that needs to be done, which I think it is, then we will be following the standard Hornby hard wiring diagram, because I kept it out of one of the old Hornby catalogues, because it makes life much simpler when you can just look at where each wire goes in respect to the locomotive being made into DCC. So as you can see, we have a bit of information on lubrication, etc. I'm not too sure why that's on there, because that's for a steam engine. So I don't think this particular loco's got a tender with it. So why that is in on a class 37, but there again on the front it doesn't say class 37. So these must have just come with every Hornby loco at the time. So as we can see, it says a bit about locomotive bodywork, dummy pantographs, traction tyres, television suppression and all that. So we'll put them out of the way now. So next up we have the certificate of authentication. You can see that for the Eddie Stobart Limited Class 37. It's basically just to say that this is model number 948 of a limited production run of 1000. It's been signed by Edward Stobart, who sadly passed away, he was the chairman and chief executive of Eddie Stobart Limited. If you can hear her howling, that's my puppy. I do apologise, I've got to give her a dinner after I've done this review. And it's also been signed by Simon Kohler, who's the marketing manager of Hornby Hobbies Limited. So that's that. I'll just fold that up and put it to one side. So moving on to the locomotive now. As we can see, we have a plastic piece of paper here, just going over the top half of the loco. Well, paper, I say paper, it's card actually. So we'll take that off. So as you can see, it's in the standard Hornby box. There's a bit of packaging in between either end to protect the loco. But if we turn it round to the back, we can see we have no holes to put our fingers through. So what I'm going to have to do now is just very, very, very gently take it out of the box. So we'll just, right, what I'll do, I'll place it down for a minute and I'll just take it out. So I'll just lift it up so you can see what I'm doing here. So I've got my thumb on the top half and a few fingers on the bottom half of the box, and it slowly should start to come out in a minute. Yep, there we go, it's out, it's out. So as we can see there, we've just got some bits of packaging there and there, and they were just protecting the locomotive. So let's take a look at it then. So here we have it, the Eddie Stobart Hornby Class 37. So as you can see, it's one of the older models really, but I will be making this into DCC, making it DCC ready, and it will be running on the new house layout once we move. So even once we've got the track down, all the locos will be tested thoroughly, and then we'll probably start work on the scenery, etc. So we'll start with the front of the locomotive. So as we can see, we have the word Stobart on the top half of the locomotive roof just here, and that's in black with like a dark gold shadow effect at the back. As we can see on the front, we have, well, on the front of the bonnet area here, we have the green, well, not green should I say, we have the Stobart Gold S arrow designs. They're on a red background, as you can see. Moving down, we have the warning, I think the warning panels, if I can just let the camcorder to pick that up. I'm just trying to read what it says on my eyes as well. They can't actually see what they say. But if you do know what these are, I think they might be hazard warning panels. At least I think they are, but please leave your comments below. So moving down, we can see we have the lights just here. Now what I might do is I might drill through these and fit 2 LEDs, because I want some lighting on it. You can't really have a locomotive like this with no lighting. and I might fit a cab light in there as well, so there is a lot of modification work that can be done with this model, but I just don't want to overdo it as I don't want to ruin it. As we can see, we haven't got sprung buffers on this particular model, they're just Hornby's solid black round buffers, and we also have the old style thick coupling on the front, and there's one on the back as well. Now the front one will be coming off, so we'll cut that off and neaten it up, and the back one will be replaced with an NEM pocket one. So turning the locomotive around now to the side, as we can see on the front here, we've got some nice etched grille effects, which is a very nice touch to the Class 37, I have to say. Moving along, we can see we've got the gold Stobart S arrow. That's mainly on the green half of the locomotive bodywork, as you can see. Now here we have, I think those are plastic handrails, because they don't feel like metal ones, but they might be, I'm not too sure. So they're either metal or the plastic. But anyway, let's get on with this review. So, as we can see here, we have the Stobart European flags as well. I think one's a European one, and I'm sure the one to the right there is Italy. Again, we have a very nice etched grille effect on the sides here. Moving along now, we can see again, we have some grills just here. I mean, these are actually quite realistic, so that's what makes this model special. Moving along, we can see we have the Eddie Stobart Limited nameplate. Now, as I've shown you, the etched nameplates fit over these, so we might leave these on, we might put the etched ones on, but I'm not too sure yet. As we can see again, we've got another etched grille, and we've also got a window there and there. Again, we have the Stobart Gold S arrow design. That's mainly on the green half of the bodywork. We've also got some etched grills on the front as well, and again the flags and the handrails. Unfortunately, the doors don't open on these particular models, so I'm not too sure whether I'm going to put a driver in this, to be honest. As we can see, on either wheel set, or either bogie, we have 6 wheels, as you can see, there and there. So turning the locomotive around now. So as we can see, it's the same as the other side really. We have the word Stobart in black with a gold shadow effect on the top of the roof there. We have the gold Stobart S arrows on a red backdrop. Again, the warning panels and the lights just there. Now we've also got these lights. I think these are the marker lights. I'm not too sure whether I'm actually going to do any work with them, because I think it might take quite some time to drill all these different little lights out and fit LEDs and make sure it runs properly without shorting. As you can see again, we have the round solid buffers and the thick coupling on the bottom. Now this one is the one that's going to be replaced with an NEM coupling pocket, so that when it's pulling this way, or maybe this way, whichever way, I think it's actually this way, because the badge is usually at the back of the loco, I think, or it might be that it faces this way. I'm just going to actually have a look at the box. Ah yes, as we can see, if I just bring the box back into view a minute, the name badge is actually on the front of the loco, just there. So this end here will be the back, and this end here will be the front. So moving on to the roof section now. As we can see, it's a bit basic just around this area, but we can feel the rivets of where the different sections of the roof are. So you can actually feel that, and if I do that my hand, or my finger, you can hear it. So the last thing that I can show you now is this very nice, very nice round etched grille here, but these on Hornby models are absolutely stunning, and the same with Batman as well. So that's what makes these locomotives really good, because Hornby do put a bit of detailing in to it, even though it's quite an old locomotive. I'm sure it'll make a fine addition to the fleet of locomotives that I've currently got. So that's it basically, the Hornby Class 37 in Eddie Stobart Limited livery.